Let's just play the fucking horror game. Damn it. Load this data, yes. Okay, give me a second. Ooh. Ooh. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Why did it take me a while to remember? This is tank controls. Oh wait, okay. I'll just use the D-pad. Also, before I do that, seems to be a picture of this room. It's missing some things. Okay. Does that look like a bedroom or something else? It's just too low quality. Oh wait, I need to remember. Oh, okay. I needed to remember the controls. Doing the 180 turn, aim, and why does this look like some sort of Cowboy Bebop character? Oh, okay. It's a man's portrait. Oh, he had a hat. All right. Take the eagle plate. I'm scared. Something's gonna happen. Well, it's angled like something's gonna happen in the middle after I pick up the thingy. I don't trust this game. No, I don't want to use it. No, I don't want to. I'm not. Wait, how do I run? Oh, okay, circle. I was pressing square. Oh no. Oh no. I don't remember the controls. I don't remember the controls. It is too dark. Why is it so dark? Why is it dark? Is it my own brightness? Okay, as my brightness. Brightness. My monitor was at just 4 points. Okay, here we go. 35 should be a bit more. It's still dark. Yeah. Okay. Let me just do that. Indigo something. Map. Okay, triangle for map. And touchpad for inventory. Where am I? Oh, okay. Do I just go back? I didn't get a card. Wait. Do I just get this? Ashford's family crest. Okay. An eagle grasp a golden halberd. The indigo plate portion appears to be made of special alloy. You know what that means? I can't bypass security boxes. Okay, do I use this? Is this an elevator? That looks like an elevator. You are on the first. Oh, okay. Which floor? You know the correct answer is always the basement in a horror game. Okay. Oh, we're in here. Can I want to just make sure that I'm not missing something. So I want to check the second floor. Okay, it's letting me. Okay. Let me know if the volume gets too low. Handgun. Yes. I remember there are a lot of bullets. Wait. That looks like a bridge that I can go to. Oh, it's probably like a set of stairs that kind of go down. Wait, let me... There's nothing about it. Oh, wait. Where am I? What does it say? Or airport. Military training. This is where I am. I can go here. Oh! I just realized the stairs I came down when I was fighting the guy. It wasn't here. But I wasn't able to interact with the filter ventilation system. Oh, okay. I don't think I got rid of all the zombies as Steve, so I should get ready. Hello. Can I interact with the... no. Walk. 7, 8, 9, 10. Walk at 10. Wow. Can I... It appears to be a notice regarding the device. It's too dirty to be read. Okay, can I bypass this and interact here? Machine used for something that seems to have been in use for a long time. Anything else? Over the grid, there's a nigger. Okay. Do not interact with that gas, please. Ooh. What is she looking over? Okay, come on, interact with the door, damn it. Also. Oh. No? Okay. Please, just pick up. Ooh, grenade! Oh, wait. I got full. Oh, okay, I'm safe. The zombies behind the grids. There should be something here. Really? Oh, go through. Come on. Get those balls. Memos are posted here. There's nothing of interest. I got bit for no reason then. Oh yeah, there should be a reason. That's like that green thing. That looks too... Wait, what? Cannot be used with the what? Chemicals used? Here's a handgun part. Cannot be used with M93R. Handgun part. What about the there's ammo. Come on. Oh my god. Take it. Oh my god, I got 90 bullets. Okay, I think I'm getting some weird mini migraine trigger just around here. I usually feel it like between the eyes and the ears, and it kind of goes down. But right now I just felt it here. So hopefully this is a mini migraine trigger. Let me just open this can. Oh my god, it took a lot. I like this flavor. Okay, I need to keep this place in mind. Where am I? Down there. Okay. I'll probably get another weapon at some point. Maybe magnums? Nah, magnums are too powerful already. Whoopsie. Oh! Shotgun! Okay, come on. We all know. Resident Evil game is not complete without getting that shotgun. Wait. Where's the music? Why is the music like this? Oh yeah. This whole thing was Is this part of the music or is this footprints? Footsteps. And I cannot like just peek or look at something. I cannot really look at anything. Yeah, okay. Can I climb up? Oh, I see you! I see you! I see you! And she cannot aim at him. Can I? Oh. No. Let's do this. I can't. Okay. Why? 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 Why is this a thing? Let me check the map again. Oh. Oh. I need to get this to the... I need to get to the other side. But how do I get to the other side? I need the indigo card. Wait, it's this button. Check. Card case, I can use this. Okay, I thought if I scrubbed it with this thing, it'll turn blue. Go back to the first floor. All right. Let's see. Where am I? The area with the dogs. I could use that to get back to the entrance. Alright, okay, I guess I can go in there now. Oh no, no. This does not work! Okay. Okay, I forgot. I don't know why it does not work on the... come on, pick up the thing off the floor! Just bow gun arrows. And... I do not have what the thing... what's it called? Okay, just run. Run! I don't unlock... Okay. I unlocked the door. It can be unlocked. I don't know if there was anything else I need to... I forgot there's a big worm here. Okay. I'm just gonna run. I guess the elevator door that's right across from my character is still blocked. Let's just go. Go. That is a very stock roar. Stock sound. Roar. Okay, I think I'm coming down to the... This worm! It's very annoying! And luckily I discovered that I could run away once I started... once I started crawling. Also, I want to remember what kind of dialogue was in this. So, ventilation is not complete. Lock can be released when ventilation is complete. And I know there are like a set of stairs that takes me down to a switch, but for some reason I could not interact with it. So I figured... Did I... Shy Holod. What's that? Is that the name of the worm? Also, where am I? Oh yeah, that just takes me to the place with the giant worms on the planet Arrakis from Dune. I heard good things about the movie. But I'm not a movie person, so I didn't really watch it just yet. What is she looking at? She's turning her head on something. Oh, dogs, 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 dogs. Dogs, 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 dogs. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Oh, that freaked me out. I am bad with the dogs. Can I finally interact with this? It's a breaker for the it's currently on the on. Can I turn it off? Can I? Is there something? I don't know. And this is just the other side. Okay. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. I got the hemostasis thingy. The medicine. Do I need to go all the way back? Oh, hello, 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 hello. Yeah. No, 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 no. Okay, I am bad. Yes, Rodrigo, that's the name. Don't get stuck on the dogs. I don't. I have this thing. Alright, fine. I'll make a trip. Make it quick. Oh, sorry, wrong button. Quick trip to the palace. Rearrange my item box. And get the medicine for Rodrigo and run away from this fucking worm. Yeah. Oh, come on, come on. Okay, we're good. I don't know why I'm freaking out so bad. I'm bad with horror. I am bad with horror. Please don't let me there. What is that? What is that? What is that? No, 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 no. Go up, go up. Oh no, oh no, oh no. They're bringing those guys. Dogs, no dogs, no dogs, no dogs. Please, 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 please. Okay, I'm good. But now I have to walk all the way back. I'm gonna have to go through the dogs again. Ah! They're fucking. Fuck you! Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I gotta go to bed. Sorry, no worries. Take your time. You're probably tired from the stream. Hope you had fun with yours. And good. I also need the luck. That's why the dogs are there, to give you happy times. Please, please don't tell me there are. No! Why? This was a fairy. Shut up, you. Get away. Please tell me the safe room is still safe. What? Okay, I think she needs some heals. Okay. I want to rearrange. Oh yeah, the Lugers! Locket. Indentation. Oh, okay, I have to do this. Oh, I'm in danger. Use. It's a big square room. It's a big square room. We don't trust. Okay, I think I wanna heal. I think I wanna heal first. Heal, save, and then go through that door. Let's go. Okay, Claire. Oh wait, before I do this. No, 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 no. Wrong button. Equip the guns. And let's go. Whew. Pick up the items. That looks good. Got 100 ammo. Old photo stand. Old photo stand. Okay, fine. Does not appear to be have been. Oh. There's a fireplace. Okay. What about this thing? Music box? Huh? What did you look at? Okay. I don't feel safe seeing a big window. Big enough to fit something big to come in. Okay, there's something glowing. I do not like this painting. But I cannot interact with it. Okay, wait. Before I do this. Let me see if there's anything I can interact with before I go up to the desk. Oops, I want to do this. Go to the middle section. Oh, okay. That golden thing is not interactable. I don't want to... Why? Why does this have to be an angle? I don't want my back to face the window. Something is written on the memo. First digit left, right. Puzzle. Second digit left. Third digit right. Fourth digit right. It's a safe thingy. So I have to like press it a few times. You must not reset while maneuvering. Wait. Written. Do I write this down somewhere? Where's my pen? Pen. Pen. I do not trust my brain, so I have to do this manually. Okay. There's no power going to it. Turn the computer on. Why am I seeing this movie again? I saw it earlier, but okay. This Alfred is really... Oh. Please enter the password. Oh, dude, no. I guess I'll need that clock to find it. Alright. Please, window, do not break. Please, window, do not break. Please, window, do not break. Please. And thank you for the follow. Amazing Cartopolis. I am not looking forward to this. Also, at the moment, my PC's case, what's it called? Glass cover kind of broke down earlier today. So I'm gonna have to cancel Wednesday's stream and try to go out on Thursday and get the PC case replaced. There's a button. Push which button? All right. Starting with left. And then right. Is it cracked or completely removed? It fully crashed down. Like I was trying to dust it off. The moment I took it off, just completely shattered. Everything was completely shattered. I had to vacuum everything just to make sure nothing was like stuck in between the fans. I'm also keeping an eye on the temperature of the PC just in case something went wrong, and I will just turn off the stream right away. Well, hopefully everything's working well. It needed the pressure to stay together. Yeah. Oh wait. Oh no. Oh, where did I stop? I said left. Something is written in the memo. First digits Oh, maybe I need to write down the numbers that were showing up. And those are the passwords. Alright, I think that's it. Let me try it again. You're not getting me with these simple... Second digit, third digit, fourth digit. You must not reset. Left. Let me write down again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll write down all the numbers that are showing up. Left. It's a 3. Right. 1. So I'm assuming the first digit would be 4. Alright, second digit to left. And 9. And then right 4 times. Okay, right is a 7. That's the third digit. 8. 3. 1. Resets. Reset means just leaving. Let me see, how many slots does the password need? 4. If I add those numbers together, the first digit is 314. 314, so it's 8. The fourth digit is 831. Maybe 831 would be 12, and then 12 means 1 plus 2. I think it's the last digits of each section. I want to try my answer first. 4, 12 means 3. Let's try. Should be 4, 9, 7, 3. Come on. Come on. Nothing happens. Ah, wrong. Yeah. The keyboard isn't QWERTY. Oh yeah, I just noticed. It's just A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. It's just... It's weird. Okay, fine. Ho 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 ho. But it wouldn't make sense if it's just the last digit. Well, that's alright, fine, I'll try. 1, 9, 7, and 1. Ah, fuck you, damn it. But what's the point of the other numbers then? They're just confusing me. That's the thing with me. Sometimes I would figure out the puzzles the harder they are, but if they give me extra clues and not let me use them all, it's getting me angry. Damn it. Oh, I knew it, window! That is gonna be breaking up! Please, music boxes, go, 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 go. Just run, 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 run. I'm so glad I saved before this. What is that? Am I safe? What is this? Why is it stormy? Big handshake. He just wants a hug. I don't want a hug nor a handshake. Guy just wants to pierce me with his hand. And that is not an innuendo. I know that laugh. I know that laugh. And my controller is shaking. My controller is vibrating. You don't have to add it works! That's the thing! Adding the stairs as a loading screen and having there be some sort of what's it called? Heartbeat. A heartbeat. And fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you! Two, three hits! I took 3 hits, 4! The core hits. They fucking climb up like Spider-Man. 5 hits. Do not do the heartbeat. These are very smart uses of loading screens. Hiding the loading screen. No. No, I ran! I should not be running! Oh wait, that's a door. That's a door. That looks like a door. Door. No, that's not a door! Yeah, don't bite me. Do I have a map? Okay. The loading screens are still one of the best suspense mechanics. They are. Like this was very, very smart. Because even modern games that need some kind of loading screen, they would just put some sort of wallpaper and then add some tips to get people to read those. Oh yeah, that creeped me out for a second. Oh, keep running. I took so many hits. No. I took a turn by mistake. Why is this game so heavily
Keep focused, brother. Our enemy is only a little girl. Oh, why is this taking so long?
My apologies, Alexia, but I have been doing my best.
The revival of the Ashford family depends on your success, brother.
I am aware of that, Alexia. I will revive the family name myself and make you the master of the glorious Ashford family.
Do not worry, brother. I will handle them both myself. Who is there? Is someone at the corridor?
What accent are they trying to go for? Sometimes it feels like it's...
What is it, Alexia?
Nothing. I believe I must have been imagining things. Let us go, brother.
At first I thought this was some sort of weird... Why do I have a doll facing me? A large-sized doll, possibly custom-made. What is this? What am I looking at? Where is it? Should be on the video capture, filter, color. Oh, here we go. Brightness. Ooh. I can increase the brightness like this. The head just turned. What? The head did not turn. Don't tell me things like that. Please don't do this. The head did not turn. I will refuse these lies. Here we go. It should look a little brighter. The music's giving me Exorcist vibes. Kinda? I'm not going in there. I'm not going in there. Fine. The controller's vibrating. I don't like this. I took so many hits already. I don't have heals. I just have an herb. He should not have disappeared. That is a giant music box. Okay, it's like a vinyl. Something is written on the back of the lid. Red Queen and Blue King return. The path opens. No, I am not touching anything until I explored everything. Gorgeous furnishing, nothing useful. What about this? Relief. Resemble a goddess. A lot of dolls. Antique dolls. They could be Alexias. Okay. This game is a little old, so there aren't any subtitles options for... I'm kind of scared of turning off the music before I go up here. Oopsie. You know, I'll keep the music on. I kind of have a feeling if they're off, something bad will happen. Oh. Alright, fine. I need to turn off the music to open the seal. Yes. Key? Wait, where's the key? The red jewel is embedded by an opening. Oh. Come on. Here we go. Silver key. And it has the same symbol as the plate. Oh. Game, stop doing this. This was not a jump scare, but it's still a jump scare. It's a jump scare that doesn't jump in your face. Opening. There's no way that's just the open. Check. A key made of pure silver. The Ashford family's crest is carved on it. Music box is locked. I can take out the musical plate. So apparently I need the musical plate with the way this message is being worded. A red jewels. I'll need a key with the red jewels. Okay, fine. Do I just go out? Did I interact with anything I need? Everything I need in here? All right. Oh, that was an herb. It was too dark earlier to see. Yes, please. Is that like an opening I can go to? Hey, anything I can interact with here? Oh, I can walk backwards. That would be useful. That would have been useful a long time ago. Okay, you know what? I should be careful of running, especially if there are any bats. I kind of should be able to hear them the moment I go in a room, but I'm taking a lot of damage. A bust. Nothing unusual. All right. I don't like the giant dolls. History is the topic of many of these books. Professional biology books. Biology. Chemicals. T-virus. A large size doll, possibly custom made. I don't like this. I don't like this. Okay. Picture. Let me check the layout of this place. Oh, so it's 2 rooms. Alright. I'll try to go here. This one's blue. Pulled out. Can I interact with the mannequin? Let's see. Exquisite furnishing. Nothing useful. Nothing useful. Anything on this bed? Please give me something to work with. Also, interesting touch. There's the same relief. One side is the front and the other side is the back. Oh, that looks like a note that I can interact with. Message card. Oh, I need to use the D-pad. My dear brother, I firmly believe that the glory of the Ashford family will be revived through your courage and strength as an honored soldier. Soldier? Alexia Ashford. What? What soldier? Nothing useful. That's weird. I got nothing of use here. This is locked. Need to be very slow. Not run, so that bats do not chase me. I also need to keep watch on Claire's head, if she ever turns her head to look at something. That's been helping me a lot. Alright. Quiet. Be quiet. Oh no! There are already. Oh! Okay, fine, shine, fine, shoot. No! There we go. Ah, yeah! No, I need to aim up. Ay, stop! Oh. Come on, I can shoot you. Oh, come on! I am taking a lot of damage. Here we go. I just needed to aim. Well. Oh, she's limping. Oh, when did I take so much damage? I'm in danger. Oh no, I'm not doing well. But I got an fuse. Fine. Come on, give me ammo. Give me ammo. Yes. And do this. I need to reset. I do not like that. Here we go. Oh, I was just waiting for the auto aim to work. Completely broken. Can't pass through here. Ah. Alright, I think we're safe. I just went through the stairs I did not explore. Marble desk, stone figures, nothing useful. What is this? Oh, yeah, that's a lot of dolls. Creepy dolls are showcased. Liking of the residents. Careful. Okay, I need to start shooting things instead of just running away. Why did you aim? See? She's also aiming at something. Oh! Fuck! Fuck you! Fuck you! Damn you! Am I shooting it? I'm hitting him. I hear him. Come on! I don't need to see you. I don't want to see you. Die, die, die. Where's the other foot? I don't know. I don't care. I'm too scared. Stop fucking flinching. You fucking scared me. I don't care about the map. Where am I, actually? I kind of just started exploring the door with the Luger guns, and I just forgot to go back. So maybe I need Rodrigo first. Let's go back. Oh. Oh, no, 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 wrong direction. Please go down, please go down, please go down. Don't down. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. When did I last save? It was before going through the Luger doors. Okay. That was a fine dream, wasn't it? Now let's just go back to Rodrigo. I am not going there just yet. Oh. This would have been much useful.